What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video of Priceaction trading, and today we're going to talk about this wedge pattern and why I'm not a fan of trading wedge pattern. But before we get started, let's quickly talk about the current price action and current market structure that was happening. This is actually yesterday's price action, and yesterday was a Martin Luther King day, holiday, whatever, in the US. So market was closed, and you can see very little price action was happening. And I found throughout my experience that a lot of times when there is a holiday and there is no trade day, you can use the previous day's price action. So that's what happened today. I don't normally use previous day's price action, but when it's a holiday or when it's a no trade day, you can generally use it. It is because a lot of traders think that the day is not, the day is not closed properly, and the price action, structure didn't really finish yet. So it is still in continuation. So we're trading up higher, everything is above the EMA, we're making higher highs, higher lows. It legit uptrend, so everything is looking like bullish. So I want everybody to be buying this. We cannot be selling this because everything is above the EMA. This is how we use the EMA. It is, supportive indicator, and at this point on is showing us that everything is bullish right now. We bounced here from the EMA, from the trend line. It was very early to trade, so I didn't mark anything. But here we get to wedge pattern, and why I don't like trading wedge patterns, and I don't recommend you guys trading wedge patterns either. It is because during the wedge pattern, it is very tempting to take the both sides of the wedge. It is tempting to go long here. Look how it is bouncing from the lows, and look how it is bouncing from the highs. It is tempting to go from the highs as well, shorting this. Look at so many traps here. So when you see the prices going into the wedge pattern and you're not really sure what's gonna happen, just don't trade, don't take a trade, sit on your hands, be patient. A lot of traders will get trapped very quickly and they will jump the gun because they're impatient and they just want to trade, they just want to make some money. But you have to be patient and you have to be mentally strong, because when you're trading, you should be leaning more towards one side. You should always be only looking, when you're buying, you should be focusing on going long, and you should not be even taking shorts into consideration. Of course, anything can happen, and it can go up and down. But my point is here, when the wedge pattern is looking like this, it is tempting to go short and it's tempting to go long. Therefore, it's a no trade for me, and it should be no trade for you. Because when I'm trading, I should feel like there's only one possibility that can happen. This is how I know that I'm confident with my chart reading skills and using my rules. So this is why I'm not a big fan of the wedge pattern. So just sit on your hands, and you can see it actually happened. We broke higher, we broke the wedge pattern, and we turned back down. And I had this support drawn here earlier from these two lows right here, and we broke higher and turned down quickly. And this is where I went long and was a quick, easy scalp. But here was the important thing that happened for the day, that shift all the gears for the rest of the day, or at least the majority of the day. This one big move down, that's normal. We just broke the wedge, and it looks very strong, but that's normal. That's a fell break higher, and we got back into this support, so that's normal. So I wasn't really that afraid of this trade. But once we made it to the EMA is holding prices, and once again, big gigantic leg down, a lot of volume here. This is now the indicator that everything has switched. The people who normally went long here and here, they barely went long here, and it was very few people that went long here. I actually was one of the few people that went long here, and they instantly got trapped almost. This is why I go for 10 ticks, and I'm a day trader, I'm a scalper. I like to take my scalp and be back, with no position. And so this was a major indicator that we are going lower from here. And I actually took a chance here and I bought this one more move. So I was 1 for 1 to start the day, because I was looking at it as a little bit fell break lower. It's not like ideal fell break lower. And if you move the support even lower, it is just bouncing off the support. But I treated it like this, and you can see I got trapped here. I didn't have the trend line yet in play, obviously. This is all, the trend line was drawn right after I got trapped here. But I just took a chance here, you know, and you can see everything is below the EMA. You can see a lot of stims, a lot of dojis, big 2 legs down like this. There's definitely some shift happening here. There's definitely the bulls normally that were going long right here, they're no longer going long right here. The prices are not rallying up to this resistance. So this is not acting like a normal trading range. And we were looking for a new high of this bigger trend channel. So, but obviously it's not happening because look how hard it is, like pulling teeth to take it above the EMA. And this is why we use this is how we use the EMA. We cannot make it above the EMA. You know, this was fairly small signal bar, and I like to take these risks because the failed breakouts a lot of times are the low for the day, just like it happened right here. If you took this failed breakout, you're holding a gigantic runner. This is what I was kind of hoping right here. Nevertheless, it didn't happen. So once it didn't happen, I drew the trend line. You can see we are now working lower, and according to our price action rules, we now are waiting for break and a new low. So we have this bullish correction working up higher. Draw the short-term trend line. The trend lines, the bigger trend lines are as important as the shorter-term ones. They are both equally important, and don't neglect the short-term ones. They will give you a lot of great trades, and a lot of times they will give you more trades than the bigger patterns, bigger trend channels. And you can see one leg pullback, second leg, two-legged pullback. I'm going to show you guys quickly. One leg up, second leg up, not quite measured but very close. Second entry short, and you can see if you move the support a little bit lower, it's now acting as a resistance, and twice we touched it and retested it. I like this big bullish, big bearish bar. Second entry according to our rules, and we are waiting for new low, and new low happened right here if I'm eyeballing this correctly, and if not, maybe it definitely happened right here. But right now we're kind of working up sideways. We bounce from this support, so draw the support. Definitely don't neglect the drawing this. You can see quadruple bottom. We're working up higher. We spike through the EMA, so gears are switching up. We're shifting. I don't think you want to still go long yet because this is quite looking bearish, and it's not really clear we have a new low. Whatever, it's not really enough signal, enough indication to go long. You know, so far we're now a little bit working up lower. So draw this correction, let it play out, break any new high. It was tempting to taking this long because the fact that EMA is holding prices even right here. Nevertheless, I don't like going long into this resistance like here, as you can see if you move it a little bit closer. We have a break, new high, perfect price action, trend line rules worked, and now we have a new high. First entry long, pullback, second entry long, according to our rules, failed second entry long that failed, and it is also, we can treat this as a second entry short. We have a double bottom right here, so you can treat it either as a first entry from this low or as a second entry from the previous low. This is what I was counting it as today. Second entry short and a failed second entry long. And you can see the short-term trend line once again holding prices nicely. We ticked higher, traded up lower. We closed a little bit above the EMA, but the context is so strong right here. Failed second entry long. I like taking this. You can see we have a break and a new low. So perfect price action right here. And now we are definitely going sideways. We are in the trading range now. And we have a failed break lower. So looking back at this, I didn't buy here, but looking back at this, it is very tempting to go long here because it is a failed break lower, and most breakouts will fail. First entry short, pullback, a little bit of a two-legged pullback to the EMA. If we trade it up higher and we close above the EMA, that will give me enough information that a lot of bulls are buying from here. So I would probably go long here, but since we close below the EMA, you can still make one little push lower. But you know, it was very tempting going long here. I'm not gonna mark it because it is very aggressive, but it is according to our rules. Most breakouts of trading ranges will fail, and they will just move the market slightly lower to trigger the stops of all the people that went long, so they can go long. so they fake out the weak longs and the weak shorts. The strong shorts went short right here, and the weak shorts are going short directly into the support, and they're selling the breakout, which is wrong. And the weak longs, they're panicking and exiting way too early. So they know what they're doing. Institutions definitely know what they're doing. So you want to be buying with them. You want to try to follow them. So this is what we do on this channel. We try to follow the institutions. But nevertheless, I would play it safe here. It is tempting to go long here. Fell break lower according to our rules. I'm just not going to mark it because I feel like it's a little bit aggressive here. Nevertheless, we're working up higher once again. Trend line fitting prices nicely. EMA is pointing higher. Higher lows, higher highs. Only thinking going long now. Bullish momentum, very strong. And this was the last trade that I took for today. We had a new high right here. Pull back. First entry, pull back. Second entry. I didn't go long on this bar because it actually, we triggered first lower and then ended up going higher. But it is still, we're quite away from EMA. But once this bar touched the EMA, this is the key entry point. So right now we're at the key entry point. Second entry long. So now there's two rules being met. We have a break, an attempt to make a new low. The key entry point is so strong that we cannot make a new low. So there's a third rule that is being met. And we are waiting for a new extreme, new high of this bullish correction working up higher. Not correction, this is a very strong trend. So there's 4 rules being met. There's almost all of these. You know, one thing that is missing is just fell break lower. But this is a perfect setup, very beginner friendly setup. And it is a key entry point. And you can see we have a break and a new high, perfect price action. And this is what the day ended up looking on the bigger picture. Just be patient throughout this batch because it is looking very tempting. Look how nice the short setups look. And look how tempting it is to go long. Of course, it looks, you know, in hindsight, it looks like you should be buying. But, you know, it could have easily, here, it could have easily went lower and then go higher. So you always just want to skip the wedge patterns because prices shouldn't be acting like this, really. We really shouldn't be going, we shouldn't be this undecisive. But a fairly good, fairly strict day according to our rules. I took a chance here a little bit, but you can see we are 2 big legs down, stims below the EMA, everything's closing below the EMA. This is not how you wanna trade this, and I'm gonna show you guys the way how I like to trade the fell break slower and the support and resistance. I'm gonna give you a little bit, guys, a little bit of a knowledge right here. Normally, let's say we are working up right here, we're working up right here, we're working up like here, we're working up like here. When it is this steep and the moves are big and steep like this, it is safe to take these longs. But when the market is looking like this and the market is starting to look like this is when you shouldn't, or you should be paying a little bit more attention, and you shouldn't be going long here because there's definitely something happening. And obviously I got trapped here, so it may seem like, you know, hey Thomas, what the heck are you explaining us to? You don't really follow your rules. Yeah, well, I got a little bit, I jumped the gun. That was a mental error, but I instantly recalled, you know, that I made a mistake here. But I just took a chance, you know. I sometimes take a chance even though I know I'm gambling a bit. So nevertheless, this is much safer and it is much harder for the beginners because all they see is just this one big move down, and it is looking like it's going to reverse because this big steep move down is very steep and it's looking like it has a lot of power and people are scared to go long here. But once we start wavering here, that's when people want to go long. But you can see this is not ideal pattern. What is ended up probably gonna happen, we're just gonna make these few little corrections. We're gonna have higher and higher, lower and lower, excuse me. And what a lot of people will do, luckily I didn't do this today, but I remember doing this. Once I blew my account when I started up. I was trying to buy here and trying to buy here and trying to buy here. And the way your psychology works is once you're trying to go long each time here, you no longer pay attention to the downticks. You pay all the significance to the upticks. And why? Because the upticks are putting you away from the pain. Each time you can see the uptick, you're starting to feel, it's all over now. Oof, the market's gonna reverse. you know, I finally gonna get my winning trade. And once again, once it turns red, you're once again panicking and you're looking for every single uptick. Your mind is only paying attention to your upticks. And why is paying attention to your upticks? Because your mind is trying to shield you from the pain. You're experiencing a pain right now because you're working lower. The market is going against your position and you keep buying here. So your mind wants to shield you from the pain. So because we have a pain avoiding mechanisms inside our head, just like when you put your hands on the stove, you will move it up instantly. That's how our mind works. So when you go long here and you see an uptick, that's how your mind works. It is focused, and you put all your focus into the upticks because they're releasing you from the pain and you feel relief. But market just keeps going lower and lower. And once when I was very beginner trader, you know, 8 years ago, this is how I blew my account, because I kept going short. I wasn't paying attention to this downtrend that was happening, and I thought it's time to go long, it's time to reverse. And you know, I didn't go long here, and I was going to go long here. Typical, you know, typical beginner error. And you know what's gonna end up happening is market's gonna end up looking like this, but nobody is gonna go long here. The people will go short here and here and here. Trust me, and I saw this multiple times. A lot of traders texted me and emailed me previously and many years back that they actually act like this. So I guarantee you, one of you watching, you acted exactly like I'm describing. I guarantee you, you acted exactly like that I'm describing. You took 3 longs right here, you took a loser, and you lost so much money that the fear of losing money was bigger than fear of missing out, than the fear of being wrong. And the last long that you probably should have taken to make all the money back, you didn't take because you lost so much money. And this is how trading works. I'm rambling on quite a lot now, but nevertheless, hopefully this was a little bit useful. I got a live trading session prepared for you guys, so hopefully you guys are gonna appreciate this. I'm gonna upload it probably, let me see, today's Tuesday. I'm gonna upload it Thursday because I'm gonna move my schedule just a little bit because there was no trading Monday. So don't be, I won't forget. You know, I make 3 videos a week normally, sometimes 4, but you know, just something to consider that Monday was closed. Nevertheless, hopefully you guys had a good trading day, study your charts, and I see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.